Even if the rest of Christianity is true, why would I actually want to go to heaven?
What do you think heaven's like?
Well, playing harp, floating around on clouds. And there's that guy at the pearly gates,
St. Peter?
That's the one. Why does he get to decide who comes in or not? What are you doing with my lunch?
I'm making a picture of heaven. Look, that'll do for clouds, won't it?
I guess so.
Don't worry, I'll use my lunch too. And that's the harp.
St. Peter and the pearly gates.
Yep. So let's start with what heaven looks like.
Cloudy. How do we see where we're going? Does that mean everyone's always floating around?
Well, the Bible does mention the clouds of heaven several times,
So I was right.
but usually it's about Jesus coming down or going up to heaven.
Oh, it's like he goes through the clouds to get there.
Something like that. Another picture that the Bible uses of heaven is a garden.
Hold on. You've told me before there's a garden at the start of the Bible.
Yeah, there was. And back then, God was walking with us in the garden. There was no barrier.
What happened?
Humans, we messed it up.
No surprises there. We're still doing that.
Yeah, and because of that, God had to banish us from the garden. And work became hard.
Oh, work became hard? You mean we had to work in this perfect garden?
Yes, but God shared the responsibility of taking care of His creation with us. Pretty cool, right?
But it was our bad choices that made work boring and tiring. Sure, I get that. But what does that have to do with heaven?
Well, see, heaven takes us back to the way God always intended for things to be. Beautiful surroundings
And we work, but it's enjoyable?
Yeah, but see, good work is only part of what we'll be doing in heaven.
There's more?
Sure. See, God is love, and everything in heaven is based on love.
So, relationships without all the bad bits.
Exactly.
Good food too?
Well, the last book of the Bible specifically mentions fruit from the tree of life.
Sounds cool. But will I really have to sing praise songs to God?
Yes, there will be singing, but that won't be bad either.
You haven't heard me sing.
No. Imagine an awesome meal someone's just cooked for you. What's your natural response?
I say thanks.
Right, and you might talk about the taste and the textures. Might say how great the cook is.
Sure.
Singing to God is kind of like that.
Thanking him for all the good stuff.
Yeah, and with love everywhere we look and all the bad stuff gone, we'll have heaps to thank God for.
Okay. So heaven's this great place. There's good work there. What about getting in? Who's this Peter guy guiding the gate?
Peter was one of Jesus' 12 apostles.
What's an apostle?
It's like an apprentice. They followed him around and learned from him.
So they followed him around, and as a reward to Peter, Jesus put him on sentry duty.
Well, the last book of the Bible does mention that heaven has 12 gates, each one made from a pearl.
Big pearls.
Yeah, but it doesn't mention Peter standing at any of them.
So Peter's not the one to let me in. Who decides?
God. It's his kingdom. He's the king, and he decides. In fact, he wants you there. You just can't afford the ticket.
Wait, so God creates this perfect place, but no one can afford the price of entry?
I didn't say no one.
Well, then who?
Jesus. And if you trust him, he can pay for your way in.
That's it? I don't have to earn it?
Definitely not. No one can.
God doesn't put me on some cosmic scales to see if my good outweighs my bad?
No scales. Put it this way. Could you physically jump to the moon?
Of course not.
No. So you can't do enough good works to spiritually jump into heaven either. But if you trust Jesus, he's got you covered.
That sounds too easy.
Oh, trust me, the price that Jesus had to pay for our tickets was massive. But that's for another video.
I guess heaven doesn't sound so boring after all.
I'm still a bit hungry. How about I get you a sandwich?
I would have preferred my bangers and mash.
No. How about a hot dog? What about you? Do you think heaven is a real place? What do you think it's like? Tell us in the comments below, or join our Discord chat to talk more. It won't be boring. Links in the description.